credit can be able to go ahead and get you guys a supercar in 6 months and also be able to get you guys $50,000 of funding if you play your cards right. This video, I'm gonna show you guys why credit is actually king and you guys can be able to leverage your way out of any situation. So credit can be able to get you guys $50,000 of funding. It can get you a condo, it can literally get you a supercar, and it can also be able to get you the funding that you need. So really with credit, how I boil down credit, all credit is simply leverage. You can be able to go ahead and leverage. Credit equals leverage. You can literally be able to go ahead and use credit in order to be able to leverage your lifestyle so you guys to be able to get a car, a house, travel for free, whatever you guys are looking for. Credit is one of the best games you can play just because of the fact that you can literally be homeless in 6 months, be able to go ahead and get you an apartment, $50,000 of funding, and also anything that you want. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do so right now. So credit, in my opinion, is a great equalizer. You can literally be able to have somebody that's super rich and also somebody that's super poor and still have the same access to credit. As long as you have a 9-digit social security number, you can literally be able to get access to credit. That's the way they set it out, right? So if you literally have an SSN, literally equals a $300,000, right? And so it's necessarily free because of the fact that you don't have to put up any type of money in order to be able to get it. At the end of the day, most of us are not broke. They just don't know how to have access to capital that they are looking for, right? So if they want to be able to go ahead and get funded, then all they have to do is actually be able to build up your credit report. And especially if you're an adult, right? Credit is literally your report card. And you can be able to actually cheat on your report card by adding the right type of accounts. Right, so credit is a great equalizer because of the fact that you can have somebody who is literally born into wealth and also born in silver spoon. You can have somebody who's super poor and they still have the same access. As long as you have a SSN and you're also able to be an American citizen, you can literally get access to credit, right? So if you have access to $100,000, literally you can be able to go ahead and literally get you a car on Turo, you can go get you an Airbnb, or you can even invest into a business. That's why credit is super, super important. Now, how I look at credit, right, is literally by being able to have trust, right? So how the banks look at it, the way it's all set up is that credit will equal trust, right? All credit really is going to be trust, right? That the banks will trust you in order to be able to go ahead and pay back your money on time. So if you have good trust with the bank, they're going to give you more money in order to be able to invest, in order to be able to go ahead and actually get properties, do whatever that you want to do as long as you actually pay them back. So that's the most important part about credit, is that it equals trust. And so understanding this is really going to be crucial because how you build up your credit report, the number one way is literally not to miss any payments. If you do that, you're automatically going to mess up your credit score. It's one of the worst things you can do. Our credit is really going to show is trust, right? Is being able to make sure that the bank will have to trust you. That's why late payments are the worst things you can do. If you have a late payment, automatically it's going to ruin your credit score. It's going to drop you down at least 80 to 100 points, right? So late payments, worst things to do. Easy 80 100 points. So don't do this shit. Don't do this shit at all. This is the worst thing you can possibly do. So if you don't want to be a dumbass and completely mess up your credit score, number one thing is to never make sure that you're late. And the way that you prevent this is by being able to put everything on auto payment. We'll talk about that more in this video. Now, a 3-digit score, it means absolutely nothing if you don't know what to do with it. If you don't know what to do with a 750 credit score, a 700 plus credit score, that shit doesn't mean anything at all. You have to be able to utilize that credit score in order to be able to get you the funding that you need, right? What can you really do with credit? And so honestly, the best thing you can do with credit is get rich off of it, right? And by literally being able to leverage. One, if you have a business, you can go ahead and dump money on ads, right? Buy ads so I can be able to scale your business if you have a high ticket offer, right? That's one thing you guys can definitely do. The other thing is that you can go ahead and buy a business, right? In order to be able to buy a business, all you really need to be able to do is literally just have a good credit score. That's going to be one of the easiest ways in order to be able to go ahead and actually get the funding in order to be able to buy a business. The other thing is, right, is that you can go ahead and buy real estate. It's buy real estate, buy properties, be able to go ahead and get into fix and flips, and then also making sure that you guys are making a profit off of it. And this, you can literally be able to go ahead and build your portfolio just by having good credit. With real estate, yes, you can get creative and all that, but it's always best to go ahead and have good credit so that you guys are always going to put yourself in that best position to get the best rates. So once you go ahead and buy ads, buy real estate, and also buy a business, another thing you can actually be able to do is go ahead and actually get cars. You can also get you a rental car fleet and then go ahead and put it on Turo or do private rentals, right? So you can go ahead and get you economy cars, buy real estate, right? And then you can also do is get a fleet of rental cars. So you can literally go ahead and get your rental cars. You can literally go ahead and put them on Turo, or you can even go ahead and actually give it to Uber drivers and also nurses that will go ahead and actually use your car and actually have it for a long term. People are going to go ahead and get economy cars, or they're going to actually get exotic cars. So that's exactly where you want to lie. You don't want to go into luxury cars because honestly, to me, it's not even worth it. So with the exotics, you can literally have somebody go ahead and do a cameo, and all they have to do is literally just go ahead and record it on an actual music video. You're not even letting them use the car or even drive the car at all. And you can literally be able to make $1,500 a day just by letting them use your exotic car just to shoot some music videos. Credit is really going to be able to help you accomplish all of this. And if you pay your cars right, within 6 months, you got a nice Mercedes, you got the nicest apartment, and you can also be able to scale your business as well. So of course, with credit, you can be able to go ahead and buy ads, buy a business, buy real estate, right? And then also get a fleet of rental cars. But how do you accomplish this, right? What credit scores do you actually need? So all this is fine, right? But what actual scores? So what factors do you actually need, right? What scores do you need? So what scores do you actually need in order to be able to qualify for all of this, right? So let me go ahead and show you the 4-step strategy. Especially if you follow this, you'll be able to get you $50,000 of funding. All right, so if you're tired of everybody on Instagram flexing and flashing on you, don't worry. I'm going to give you guys the great equalizer right now on the 4 strategies you need in order to be able to build up your credit score. If you have some patience and just wait 6 months, you'll be able to get $50,000 of funding as well. All the influencers, trust me, they're barely even leveraging their credit, right? So if you want to be able to go ahead and get you some money and leverage your lifestyle, let me show you the strategies, right? So the first thing you want to do is add credit builder accounts, right? So you want to go ahead and add you credit builder accounts. Like, these accounts are crucial because if you don't have anything on your credit report, then it's going to be really, really hard to go ahead and get approved for anything. Because honestly, really what lenders are going to look at is your past credit history. Banks will always lend you guys second money. They'll never lend you guys first money. So whenever you actually put it on your credit report, it's going to go ahead and show the banks that somebody else has trusted you guys. So whenever you go and apply for more funding, they're going to look at your credit report and be like, okay, Bank of America ended up approving you, so we'll go ahead and approve you as well because we trust Bank of America. And so Bank of America is not just going to give somebody some money, especially if they don't trust their credit report. So that's why banks are going to always lend you guys second money. They'll never lend you guys first money. That's why it's important, right? In order to be able to get you these credit builder accounts. So these credit builder accounts, you need to be able to have Ava, Kickoff, I even might tell them. So I would add as many ones as possible, right? But the thing is, right, so I'll add about 4 or 5 credit builder accounts. But the thing is, though, you want to make sure that you can be able to afford the monthly payments every single month. That's going to be super crucial. And then you got that one, and then you also have Credit Strong as well. So Credit Strong. And if you guys want to know more about this, I have some more videos about exactly how I break down a lot of these different trade lines. And you guys can actually go to my channel and check out that video as well. Now, with adding the credit builder accounts, we need to add these ASAP, right? And so the second step, right, is after we added these credit builder accounts, is to go ahead and build relationships with credit unions. Stop going to the bank. If you are barely starting off your credit journey, you don't need to go ahead and actually go to the bank because the banks, they're not going to help you out as much as a credit union. Now, with credit unions, they actually treat you just like a shareholder. They actually need your money, and that's exactly why they exist. So credit unions are significantly different from the banks, and credit unions are actually the ones that look out for you because they do have your best interest. Now, the banks definitely don't, right? And so with credit unions, you can easily get you guys $20,000 just off of one card. Now, this is going to be super important, right? So when you want to build up the relationship, so once you go ahead and get a secure loan, really what you're going to do is you put up the capital, say $1,000, $2,000. So what they'll do, right, is literally go ahead and take that money, put into a loan, and then put it on your credit report. Now, this is super important because you literally could have $5,000 just sitting on your bank account, but if you don't have it on your credit report, it doesn't even matter. So you want to be able to go ahead and actually take that money that you have set aside and put it as a secure loan, so then it actually gets put onto the credit report. And so really what you want to do, right, as far as building relationships with these credit unions is, of course, like I mentioned, do a secure loan, right? And so honestly, what I do, so I'll go ahead and pick out 2 or 3 credit unions, and what I would do is go ahead and open up an account with them. After I open up the account, I'll go ahead and do a secure loan with them. And so as soon as I get that secure loan, I'm paying off 99% of the balance right away off the bat. And the rest of the balance, I'm putting it on auto payment for 6 months. So 6 months, because payment history is super, super important. You want to be able to get as many payments as possible because that's going to ultimately help out your credit score. I'll do about 2 different secure loans, at least $1,000 each. And then afterwards, I'll go to the next credit union. So that way, whenever I actually apply for credit cards, loans, or lines of credit later on, because I actually put up my own capital to begin with. So with the credit unions, I actually go ahead and build our relationship up first, get secure loans, and then afterwards, go ahead and ask for some capital. So definitely have you a secure loan. Pick about 2 or 3, right? 2 or 3 CUs that you really like. You can have DCU, you can have NEU Federal. There's a couple of different other ones. And honestly, what I would do, right, is go ahead and find you some credit unions in your area, because most people, they look at the top ones, but it's usually those credit unions that are just around your area that you don't even know exist, but they be looking out. But they're actually looking out because you're a part of their community. And they're actually able to give you guys a lot of funding because you're a part of their community. Now, the third step, right, and this is the most important step, is to literally go ahead and you want to have everything on auto payment. You don't want to miss a single payment at all. Put everything on auto payment. So then you're not even worried about, did I miss the minimum payment? Did I get a late payment? So then you don't want to worry about getting a late payment. The last thing you want to do, especially if you're building up your credit report, is literally go ahead and get you a late payment, right? That's one of the worst things. Make sure you go ahead and put everything on auto payment so you never miss a payment. Fourth step is to literally go ahead and wait 6 months. Listen, and the last step really is to wait 6 months. If you can just wait 6 months and go ahead and apply for funding, that's going to give you guys a lot better chance than going ahead and trying to rush the process. Whenever you're building up your credit report at the beginning, lenders want to see at least 6 months of positive payment history. Once they see 6 months of positive payment history, that's when you can go ahead and start applying for more funding. But if you guys try to rush the process, you're not going to get anything. Just have some patience and wait 6 months. And after you wait about 6 months, I promise you, you have at least a 750 credit score, and you can go to any credit union and literally go ahead and get you $50,000 of funding. Easily. So I just showed you guys how to build up your credit report, especially if you're starting off from scratch. If you're a late payment, a collection, or any negative item, you're going to need to get that removed before you apply for any type of funding. So let me show you guys exactly what you guys should do. So we have 3 different credit bureaus. We have Experian, we have the Equifax, and also TransUnion. You need to go ahead and check out every single credit report, because one thing might show up on Equifax, another thing might show up on TransUnion, and they're all completely different. So you want to make sure to check out all 3 credit reports. So the first step really is to go ahead and actually check your credit report, right? The one, check credit report, right? After you check your credit report and see what needs to come off, what you really need to do is opt out of all secondary bureaus. So once you go ahead and opt out all secondary bureaus, because we're going to go ahead and dispute these items with the credit bureaus. So what you need to do, right, is to go ahead and opt out. So after you opt out, that's going to prevent the secondary bureaus, which is Innovis, LexisNexis, and Opt-out Pre-Screen. So once you opt out of these, they won't be able to share your information, and it's going to be a lot harder for them to verify the dispute afterwards. So the third step really is to go ahead and dispute with the credit bureaus. And I'm going to give you guys a secret hack, right? So honestly, what I would do, right, is to just do a FTC affidavit, right? So once you do a FTC affidavit, that's basically stating that if you don't recognize anything on your credit report, then it has to get removed off your credit report. So that's going to be the quickest and fastest way in order to be able to get these items removed. I'm going to give you guys a secret way, right? So if you wanted to get items removed quickly, what I'll honestly do is a 2-week litigation affidavit, right? So an affidavit is going to be anything that's sworn that you actually have these reports. If you don't recognize it on your credit report, then it has to get removed. So what you're going to do, right, is send out a dispute, and you're basically going to tell them that, hey, listen, you're going to tell the credit bureaus that there's some inaccuracies on your credit report, so they have to get removed off your credit report. And if they don't get removed, then you're going to go ahead and file a lawsuit. They're actually really scared about litigation, because trust me, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, they all know they're doing stuff wrong. So the last thing you want to do is actually go to court. So what you want to do is really just scare them, right? So after you go ahead and do the 2-week litigation method, and you're going to have to dispute, right? Sometimes it's going to fall off within a month, sometimes it's going to fall off in 2 months. But the last thing you want to do is actually give up. That's really what they want you to do, is to give up on disputing. So you definitely don't want to do that. You want to just keep on disputing. And if they don't take you serious, which most of the times they really don't, then you go ahead and just file a lawsuit. So they're honestly really scared of all these litigation, right? And so once you go ahead and do this, get these items removed, then you go ahead and actually keep on building your credit score, and then you go ahead and apply for more and more funding. That's how you're able to go ahead and build your credit report, remove any negative items, and then actually go ahead and get the capital that you need in order to be able to go ahead and invest in real estate, invest in buying a business, or just invest in your current business by running ads. If you guys found this video as another banger, like always, go ahead and make sure to subscribe. Your boy's trying to get to 10K as soon as possible. So, and like always, I'll see you at the top, my boy. Let's get into it.